All right, welcome to the show, David Himbara. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello.
David, yes.
Okay, so listen. I wanted mainly to concentrate on the questions raised by the viewers.
Mm-hmm.
The question raised by the viewers, mostly Rwandans, show me that very few of Rwandans really appreciate or even understand Rwanda's history of the past 62 years of independence.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to show them, this is what I really want to show that, in fact, when you look at the three regimes that has ruled independent Rwanda, it's just a change of name. They are all the same. Even though
Mm-hmm.
we say, oh, this is Hutu, oh, this is Tutsi, blah, 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 blah. I want to show your viewers that actually it's essentially what do you call it? It's a cut and paste.
Copy paste.
Yes, it's copy paste. So there, that's why really I'm sure that if Rwandans put aside their biases and look at this, then you would really have a unified country.
Mm-hmm.
Tukareba
So maybe
ahubwo
maybe we should move into Kinyarwanda then because it's going to be the Kinyarwanda audience which wants to hear this.
no, but even the international ones need to hear this because you see
Mm.
they are also because we're the ones who informed them, they are misinformed.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to speak in English.
Okay.
Kabisa.
All right.
Okay.
So
So
tell us,
now,
how are they the same?
all right. So first of all, let me say that obviously we have had three regimes. The first one was Gerigora Kaibanda, who ruled Rwanda 11 years under his party called Parimhutu. 11 years of Parimhutu. Uh, then the second regime was led by Juvenal Habyarimana for 21 years, from 1973 to 1994. Okay,
I'm listening. Mm-hmm.
then came the regime of the current regime of Rwandan Patriotic Front. It has ruled Rwanda for 31 years old, 31. It's actually interesting that the one which follows doubles the earlier.
So
So
it gets worse and worse and worse.
yeah, and longer and longer and longer. So the first one was 11 years. The second was 21 years. Then the third one is 31 years. So let's see how how they're same. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Le- Point number one. Uh, the first one is that they come by force and end by force. That's one similarity. Number one. Are we together?
I'm listening.
Yeah. So it they come and end violently. Okay. Number two. Number two is that they build what we call a one-party state. The ruling party is the only one that is allowed to rule. Others are eliminated. So the figure of the president, the Rwandans have to worship them almost like kings. I don't know if you know the Habyarim, the Kaibanda songs, Turatsinze Karaba, you know, the famous song was Turatsinze.
Oh,
Habyarimana,
tell us. We have no clue.
you have no clue.
No, Kayuanda, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. So the song was Turatsinze Gaye, Turatsinze, Abatutsi Murashize, Nimugende, Nimut, you know. Ariko, the one who came second, Habyarimana, anyway, it was more elaborate. You know, they used to have like what they call animation. You're familiar with that?
Yes.
Chinani was the invincible. So at rallies, pe- people went into songs, basically to make him a worshiping figure, the one and only. Then, of course, now is the Kagame, the savior of Rwanda. That's the song. Uh, Number three, each of them used to win elections by 99 to 100%. Kaibanda always won elections by 100% because there were no other parties allowed to run. Habyarimana uh, won, his winning margin was a bit less, 99% throughout, 99. Kagame began with 95, but now the last one was 99%. That is a fact. It means no other political parties were allowed. These three men basically became kings of Rwanda. Okay, then number four, they changed the constitution to stay in power.
Ah, what constitution?
Yeah, near cut and paste, the same one.
It's
So
like they don't even have a constitution.
yes, so Kaibanda, when it became when we went to go to In 1973, the existing constitution did not allow people older than 60 years to stay in power. So when he became 60, he changed the constitution.
Really?
Yes, and removed the limit, the age limit.
Age limit.
Yes.
The same way that Museveni does to Uganda, eh?
Ihangane gumirwanda, gumirwanda. Just take it easy. Okay. Then, then Habyarimana rero aje we, the constitution allowed only the MDR, the Revolutionary Party for Development was the only one allowed by by the constitution. But in the late 80s, as was the case in Africa, African governments were being forced to democratize, to allow political parties. So in Rwanda, Habyarimana also allowed political parties, but still he remained the dominant one. Niyo haje iriya party ya MDR, maze iriya party
That's
ya
when
MDR,
the MDR came in.
yes, but so it is, he started fighting for it, fighting it, but it stayed there, and it was it started fighting him. Now I take the opportunity to really appreciate a Rwandan hero, a Rwandan woman leader who we should, who in my view is the only hero among people who have who have led Rwanda. I'm talking about Agathe Uwiringiyimana, who became the prime minister.
What makes her a hero?
Wait a minute. So, by the way, she was the first one the MDR regime killed the following day after Habyarimana was shot down. They killed her. What was so special about her? Uwiringiyimana, as Minister of Education, changed Rwanda in a spectacular way. She removed the quotas. Ubundi, the number of Tutsi children who would go to school was limited. The priority was given to Hutu children. She removed that and said that all the Rwandan children deserve education. In one meeting, one of the famous meetings, Habyarimana told her, he said, "Listen, you woman." Agat's response was, "Don't call me that. I'm not your wife. I'm the minister of education. So the party, the Habyarimana and the party really hated this woman. She was tough, and she was very one of the few Rwandans that are educated. They were fully educated. This woman was a university graduate, a student of chemistry and physics. She was an intellectual. All the others, from Kaibanda to Kagame, they're all just dropouts, just thugs, dropouts, who made their life fighting in the military. So Uwiringiyimana, she was the first to die. In fact, she was even immediately after the plane of Habyarimana crashed, because she was the prime minister. She became the constitution said that the prime minister would be the president. So for a few hours she became president, and then she was murdered. Do you know that few people don't even know? Few Rwandans don't even know about Agat. Agat Uwabazi is the wife of Habyarimana. No, this is the Agat, the Rwandan hero,
I still
who
don't.
put who put into practice what she believed, equality of the people of Rwanda and their children. She died for that. Okay,
Hmm.
moving on. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Moving on. Uh, each of those Kaiba and Habyarimana and Kagame, Rwanda remained the poorest of the poor. Even today, Rwanda is one of the poorest countries in the world. Kagame has put in multi-billion buildings, cleaned the streets, planted trees, and driven people away from the city, the people who are poor, to make Rwanda the cleanest country. Because the visitor comes from the airport to the hotels. He doesn't go to Nyamirambo, or she doesn't go to. So I want to end up on a most important point where they all share, which really Rwandan should really begin to appreciate.
May I ask you one small question?
Yes, please.
So what about when they used to say that Rwanda is the Switzerland of Africa under the Habyarimana, that Rwanda was prosperous and it was the Switzerland of Africa? What was that about?
It was the same thing now as Kagame, the Singapore of Africa. Um, all these leaders use this. They spent enormous amount of money on propaganda and public relations. Because you see now, if you Google now on internet, and Kigali, you will see that, oh, the cleanest street in Africa, or that it's the richest, it is the Singapore of Africa. But the Singapore of Africa, or the Switzerland of Africa, did not involve the people of Rwanda. The people of Rwanda were out there digging with the hose, Namasuka. It was all just propaganda. Okay, so Louise, now pay attention, please, and our guests. I want to show you how each of the three leaders, the so-called leaders, used genocide as a weapon. In the case of Kaibanda, he did not even hide. Even the name of his political party, Parimuhutu, says it all. It was a country for the Hutu. Rwandans or the Tutsi could go to hell for all he cared. That's how we all became refugees. We crossed the border in 6 years. I was on my sister's back, crossing into Uganda. So it was as plain as that. It's Parim Hutu.
What about when they say that some people left Rwanda because they didn't want to be ruled by Hutus because they were, the tribalism and the Tutsi supremacism, that's why they left Rwanda. What do you say to that?
So even the 500,000 people who died didn't want to be ruled by the Hutu. Those are just propaganda. That's propaganda. The people who were the victims of that were ordinary Rwandans in the villages. Us, we were near the border. We just simply ran away, cross the border. But in any event, Kaibanda regime, even the things that Uwiri and Imana removed, like the quota of removing quotas from education, they all began during Parimhutu. It was pure and simple. I'm sure there were, of course, die-hard Tutsis who were the elite, who were sad that they lost their power, the kings and the elite. But not all Tutsis were elite. They were just ordinary people in the villages. Okay, then came Habyarimana. Oh, no. Wait a minute. I nearly missed the whole point. So let me go back. So in 1945, the UN adopted what was known as the United Nations Convention Against Genocide. So all countries, this was in reaction. Reaction mainly of the situation in Europe after World War II. The Hitler and the Mussolini who killed Jews by the millions. So the world was determined to learn from what happened in Germany in particular to make sure that genocide would never, never occur anywhere in the world. So all countries signed the convention. As African countries were becoming independent, they all signed the Genocide Convention. And what the Genocide Convention was is that countries agreed that should anything happen in their borders that is in any way suspected to be genocide, basically killing people based on their ethnicity or on ethnicity, should anything happen in any country, then the International Court of Justice would try that country. So most of the countries in the world signed in the 60s. So in the 40s and the 50s, all the big countries, Europe, North America, signed, and in the 60s, as the African countries were becoming independent, they also signed. But guess who refused to sign the convention? Take a guess.
Um, in which year is this?
No, as I said, Rwanda became independent in 62.
Yeah, but you're talking about 1945, the Genocide Convention. So Rwanda wasn't independent yet.
No, let me repeat.
Mm.
The convention was signed in 1940s after Germany
Mm-hmm.
by countries that were independent then,
Mm-hmm.
Europe, North America, and so on. But in the 60s, the African countries and Asian countries and Latin American countries also signed the convention.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one country that would not sign the convention,
And that's
which
Rwanda.
is that is Kayibanda.
Mm.
Kayibanda would not sign because genocide was his weapon. So
How?
because he could kill as he wanted, and the International Court of Justice had no power over him because he was not a member.
Oh, so you mean that he refused to sign the Genocide Convention because he was planning to genocide the Tutsi?
Yes,
Um, why can't it be that he refused to sign the Genocide Convention because Rwanda was barely independent and he didn't really understand the politics of these people? Like, why should an African nation join these people into their conventions when they are barely independent and they don't understand the international system?
the the fact is that all African countries signed the Genocide Convention.
Yes. The question is, why should we sign it in the first place?
Oh, because you want to be part of the human rights of
But who are
countries
these
that will
people?
not
Who are these
tolerate.
people who are talking about human rights when they are colonizers and enslavers?
Oh, Ariko say now you're getting me lost now.
No, because I want us to question the decisions that we want our leaders to make. Are these decisions really beneficial for us as independent people, as
Let me
independent
repeat. Let me
leaders?
let me repeat. Let me repeat. The world decided that after the 20 million Jews died
Mm-hmm.
because of hatred, the world should have a mechanism to ensure that if anyone is killed anywhere because of his race or ethnicity, they should face International Court of Justice. Everybody agreed with that. Then in the 60s, then in the 60s, new countries all over the world also signed because they want to be recognized that they appreciate their own multi-racial or multi-ethnic identity, where everyone should not face hatred because of who they are. It's as simple as that. Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, Malawi, everyone signed. Only Rwanda refused. Only Rwanda refused.
Mm-hmm.
Only Rwanda refused. So now, come 1976, Habyarimana signs the Genocide Convention. He signs it. So he's different. He goes a step further. He does something good. He signs the Genocide Convention. But he put in a clause. He says, while Rwanda agrees that nowhere in the world people should be killed because of who they are, Rwanda agrees with this. But if anyone takes Rwanda to court, it should be the local court in Rwanda, but not the International Court of Justice
Mm-hmm.
that should try. So, in other words, Habyarimana signed the convention, but he put in a clause that removed the jurisdiction of the International Court of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
So he says this should be tried in Rwanda.
So is that a bad thing? How is that a bad thing? Isn't that about sovereignty and independence? Why should these international people try us when they are even more criminals than anybody in Africa? I don't understand how that's a bad thing.
You just fallen in a trap,
Mm.
big trap.
Mm-hmm.
Here is how you have fallen in trap. So Kagame comes to power. Kagame goes in Congo and kills even over 1 million of Hutu refugees and Congolese. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Then Congo takes Uganda and Rwanda to the International Court of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
Uganda loses the case and is ordered to pay $2 billion to Congo for looting and killings. Are you with me?
Absolutely.
Then Rwanda, Kagame pulls out Habyarimana law, goes to International Court of Justice and says, look, you do not have jurisdiction over me.
Mm-hmm.
So Kagame uses Habyarimana law to kill over 1 million Hutus in Congo and get away with it.
But why should the International Criminal Court have jurisdiction over Rwanda? Do they have jurisdiction over the United States of America? And it's the United States of America has committed more crimes than Kagame, and they're the ones who supported Kagame, who brought him into power. Why do you feel like they should have jurisdiction? We are an independent sovereign nation and we should be able to resolve our issues. I don't see how it's a problem that they don't have jurisdiction over Rwanda.
You already, let me repeat, countries willingly signed the Genocide Convention.
Mhm,
Habyarimana signed it, but put in a clause.
mhm,
Other countries never put. So, like I said, when Congo took Rwanda and Congo, Congo took Rwanda and Uganda to International Court of Justice, because that's a court that tries genocide crimes. Uganda lost, but Rwanda used Habyarimana law to block the trial of Rwanda's killings in DRC.
mhm.
Kagame used Habyarimana law to kill millions of people and get away with it.
But it's not the
Uganda could
law.
not get away with it because it fully believed in the genocide
But he
convention.
didn't get away with it. He just can't be tried in that court. But it doesn't mean that he can't be tried in another court because
Which
the
one?
law.
So the law of Habyarimana says that he can be tried in Rwanda.
Mhm.
So you want Kagame's courts to try Kagame for genocide he committed in Congo?
I think the spirit of the law is that we are a sovereign and independent nation, and no one should have the jurisdiction over us, especially in such
Okay.
serious matters, that we should be able to resolve
So let
them
me ask you.
ourselves.
So let me ask you. Is Rwanda not a member of the UN?
Mhm.
Okay. So if it's a member of the UN, then it has to follow the rule of the UN.
Is the US not a member of the UN? Are they does the international court have jurisdiction over the US? So why should they have jurisdiction over Rwanda? Like we need to think independently and sovereignly.
Anyway, I think let's depart from there
Mm,
and simply say, I repeat, all countries in the world willingly signed the Genocide Convention.
mhm,
Of all countries in Africa, Kaibanda refused to sign it.
mhm.
Habyarimana signs it, but he says, no, no, if I commit genocide here in Rwanda, it's going to be tried by me in my courts. This remember is a dictator who runs the country by himself. There is no rule of law. So he says, I'm the one who is going to try this. Okay. Then Kagame comes in. He said, oh, thank you, Habyarimana. I'm going to kill the Hutus and use your law to get away with it.
But I don't know why you're personalizing the law. It's the law of the land and the country, as a people, as a nation. And these are decisions to preserve the sovereignty and the independence of a nation. It's not Habyarimana, it's Rwanda. It's Rwandans who do not want to be submitted to international courts, and they have no credibility, the international courts, because the USA and other superpowers are not submitted to these courts. So why should African nations, independent and sovereign African nations, be submitted to them? Like, I don't understand why you think that we should be submitted to them when we can be independent, when we can try our own trials, especially in some situation as grave as genocide. Why must outsiders come and try our genocides? If there's genocide in Rwanda, it needs to be dealt among Rwandans.
This same Kagame who's killing me and my brothers and people is the one who is going to try himself for killing.
But it's not about Kagame. Rwanda is bigger than Kagame. Rwanda
Yeah,
as a nation.
okay. Let me put it like this:
Mhm.
I just lost my brother-in-law.
Pore sana.
My brother. I told you how many people have died.
Mm,
My brother is rotting in jail. So you are telling me that Kagame will try himself over this crime? Tell me.
mm-mm. I'm saying that there is a nation. Do we need to do a difference between the nation of Rwanda and Kagame, the individual, and the regime?
No,
We
but
need to look
Kagame is in
beyond
power
the
now.
individual.
No, Kagame is in power now. There is no Rwanda other than Kagame's Rwanda. Absolutely not. He is the law in
But that
himself.
doesn't mean that we should sell out Rwanda so that it could be submitted to international people because we
But
don't
why
like the president
you
who's
as
in
who, you
power.
have nothing to say. Rwanda does not belong to you. You are out here just a refugee as me.
Rwanda belongs to all Rwandans. Ultimately, in the long run, the
No, but
country,
we're
the
talking
nation,
now.
yeah, but the
So,
country, the nation exists and has been in existence for thousands of years. Why should the country be submitted to these international institutions? They have no moral
okay.
authority.
All right. I think we end the conversation. Um, you believe that um, Kagame, I guess, was justified to kill 1 million people in Congo,
No.
and yeah, because you see, he was challenged. He could have he would challenge. He was challenged to the instruments, the same instruments that the Uganda applied, the same instruments that were applied to Uganda. Uganda, believing in institutions, both national and international, went and argued its case and lost and paid. Kagame said, no, 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 you can't try me because I'm Rwanda. So you are saying that let's wait until Kagame goes and then we'll somehow eventually try and recover these people that he has killed. On that note, Sister Fayansi, that was my presentation, and
Thank
we take it from there.
Okay, let's take it from there. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All I'm saying is that we should think independently and sovereignly. And it's not this law that caused Kagame to go and commit genocide in Rwanda, in Congo. It's himself, his policies. We can't blame the law. So eventually, the justice system will go after him. And if they can't go after him through the International Criminal Court, there's other courts There's other instruments that can be created. But as Africans, we don't have to submit to these international institutions to get anything done, because these international institutions have no moral authority. They have done worse, and they don't punish themselves. There's no international people who have been punished through these international institutions, and yet they commit the most crimes, and they're the ones who brought Kagame into power. So why go after the little guy Kagame when they can also go after the international institutions, international criminals? But they can't go after international criminals because they don't have jurisdiction. So why should they have jurisdiction over Rwanda? Like, thinking long term and thinking independently and sovereignly, we cannot submit to these institutions because they have no credibility themselves. If we want real justice, we have to do it ourselves. So eventually Kagame will be punished and he will face justice. And just because they can't get him through the International Criminal Court doesn't mean that he got away with his crimes or that his crimes are erased. Even Uganda, which paid through international criminal courts, maybe tomorrow they'll pay through other courts. That's just one court, you know? So we can move on and keep talking about it. And then there's questions in the audience. Can we move into Kinyarwanda also so you can take questions in the audience?
No, but I was just going to ask you one question.
Mm.
Do you believe that there is something known as international law?
Yes, there's international law. I've studied the political science, and I've obviously had to learn about the international system as well.
Okay, so what is the international law?
It's the law for all nations, but
No,
nations
be
have
more
to agree
specific.
to them.
No, be more specific.
It's the laws that will, to me, it's the laws that allow everyone to cohabit on the planet.
Very good. So these international laws include rules and regulations that apply to everyone. Are we together?
No, they don't apply to everyone because these powerful countries are not some.
No, you are
The,
jumping. You are jumping on the. You are jumping the gun.
mm,
You are jumping the gun. For example, there are international laws and regulations. For example, that guide international trade, and there are bodies concerned with international trade, right?
mhm.
Okay. So countries who wish to trade belong obviously to the sign off those laws in order to trade, so that goods can come from country B to country A according to both international and bilateral laws. So in other words, international, this thing we call international, has rules and regulations. And one of them, whether we like it or not, is UN. That is an international system.
We don't have to be part of the UN.
So which party is not a member of the UN? Just North Korea. You want to be North Korea?
This were we there when the UN was created? We don't even
No,
question it.
no. So are you saying that you don't even want to be a member of the UN?
Why should we be the member of the UN? What have we gotten from being part of the UN that we should continue to be part of it?
Are you sure?
Yes. Let's do the bilan and see what are the benefits and the disadvantages. What have we gotten from being part of the UN that we should continue to be part of it?
Oh, I see. Okay, I think. Okay, let's end it there.
No, but these
Yeah,
are
and
discussions, right? These are discussions that we need to have, right? Like we've never questioned these things. We just
oh my
accept
goodness, because you see, you, my dear,
it. Mm,
you and I
mm-hmm,
are having this beautiful conversation
mm,
in the safety of our homes in Vancouver and Toronto,
mm-hmm,
where versus our people in Rwanda, 14 million of them in prison for
mm-hmm,
30 years.
mm-hmm.
For 30 years. And so, because I'm in the safety of Canada, I can make noise.
Mm-hmm.
But even here, I have to hide in my apartment
Mm-hmm.
because what am I hiding from? Somebody can assassinate me.
The Kagamistan.
Yes. So the people, I'm here, I'm protected
Mm-hmm.
by the international laws. I'll go to my member of MP, say, look, there is a regime that wants to kill me. Or I have fled and don't send me back. Because if you send me back, I'll be killed.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see, there are rules and international rules and regulations that even reinforce the rights of a refugee.
Mm-hmm.
Those are international systems we're talking about. So I don't take it for granted. I came here with nothing and became a professor
Mm-hmm.
because I said, look, I am a refugee and under international protection, you can't send me back. I appreciate those laws.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, let me go and shut my door before I'm assassinated.
No, you can't go before we
By
speak in Kinyarwanda. We need to speak
no, no,
in.
no, I won't be able to because we went. I'm sorry, we went on a bit long,
Mm.
and I have I'm taking care of my granddaughter who's actually now
Oh,
in the nearby park.
oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, but I can
Okay,
watch, but I need to go now and get her.
okay, okay, okay. I
So you
guess
you
we
keep
will
on.
have you. We will have you back, but these are very important discussions, and I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you coming and expressing your views.
Brilliant. You be good, sweetheart. Keep talking.
Okay, bisous, bisous, fiancé.
Bye bye. Cheers, baby. Mwah, bye. Yeah.
Mwah. All right, my people, thank you so much. I guess we're gonna continue the show in Kinyarwanda and keep talking about it. So, my people, ubwo nyine